I'm Len Kearns, board certified pet orthotist for over 30 years. I work with Dr. Kenneth Ream, foot doctor and great surgeon. And while he was ordering orthotics and doing surgery, he would try to give patients orthotics first. But when all the foot doctors got out of school back in the 1979, they were taught, and that's all they had, was these full-size orthotics. Plastic ones, soft ones, going to the toes, with big deep heel cups. Some were 3/4 long with extensions and toe pieces, or short ones. But the public, especially the men we'll talk about first, they had mostly loafers, tight dress shoes. This tight dress shoe wouldn't have room to put this in, because if you stuck this in the floor in the old days, you would not get your foot inside the shoe. So then the doctors would cut the orthotic down and make it short. Then they would tell the labs to try to cut the bottoms down to put them in. For weeks, orthotics would come in, and I was told to go make them narrow, or he could have ordered them a little narrow, because the patient would come back with other shoes that were smaller than the ones he saw when he ordered the orthotic. Now the women had a different problem. All their dress shoes were really small, and you could not put any of these into this type of shoe. There was no room for it. Even if you cut it down, it wouldn't stay. If you had a high heel like this, you couldn't bend a plastic orthotic that would support you and do a perfect job. So this is like equal to a big SUV, which would pull a large boat. But if you have a small boat, you only need a small car to pull it. So for women who would come in and get all kinds of bunion surgery, have their toes fixed or hammer toes, have heel pain, have knee pain, back pain, chiropractors and foot doctors had a problem. They couldn't put these big orthotics in here. People would try to Velcro them in, they would fall and get hurt. So after 2 years, I came up with the spinal dress orthotic. And the spinal dress orthotic comes in a short version for men and women, comes in 3/4 long, so if you have problems in the bottom of your foot and you have calluses here, then we can make cutouts for your calluses, which would look something like this unit right here on the 3/4 one. This full length one is strictly for running shoes, where you could take out the insole. Let me find a running shoe. So you're all familiar with running shoes or walking shoes for men and women. When this floor comes out, that's when you could put this full-size orthotic, which does hold your body up if you have a bad back. It keeps your knees from rotating in and stops the pronation. Helps with the heel spar pain, fasciitis, tendinitis, metatarsalgia, neuromas. But you have to take the floor out in order to put this whole device in. And if you're a woman who has to get dressed up, you certainly can't wear this beautiful New Balance shoe when you have to get dressed up and wear high heels, flats, etc. So I came up with the spinal dress orthotic. And over here, as you can see, this is the ladies' version short with 2 different top covers on it. Here's the 3/4 one with the sulcus extension on it. We can build in heel spur pads for you. If you have all kinds of problems in the front when you're custom making it, we will ask you to put some lipstick on your foot when you take an imprint. See casting instructions afterwards. And here's a cast, by the way, from a doctor. And as you can see right here in the corner, there's some lipstick here. And the patient has a deep first metatarsal bottoming out lower than the other heads, and it's in the cast. And therefore we could put a pocket in here to alleviate the pressure. This is a full-size sport one. So if you're a woman and you want to wear dress shoes to work, you can take this out. And you can only use it short or 3/4 for your dress shoe, but you can take it out and put it inside the New Balance shoe, but you would place it on top of the insole. You don't have to remove it or the shoe would be too big. And you can put it right inside, put the insole in, place your custom-made orthotic right in here with Velcro circles to hold it in place. And then you can take it right out and put it back in your dress shoe, as you see right here. So we have a lot of people that like to have, they like this orthotic so much, they want to put one in their tennis shoe, golf shoe, etc., full-size shoe. So you can order the sport model. If you're doing basketball and want one just for your sport shoes, we have the high stress model. It's the same as the sport one, but it has a full cushion base from heel to toe to give you that extra cushioning while you're bouncing up and down and doing aerobics. And it's also great for tennis if you want that extra cushioning. And this is custom made, but this is our standard one. If you're over 65 and retired and you're a diabetic and you have all kinds of arthritis in your foot that the doctor explained to you, this is our geriatric unit. It's completely softer in the arch. It has a much softer arch to support you if your foot, for tender feet, diabetics, etc. But it requires a full-size shoe. You have to put it in a running shoe. Again, you cannot put it in a pair of high heels because the toe piece is going to come out in the front and be seen. And here we have a short and a 3/4 boot one. Again, short if you have a lot of extra pointy tight shoes, but if you have problems in the front of your foot and you want an extra cushion, then you order it 3/4 long. And this can be used in Western boots. This is also used for soccer. Now soccer has another problem because these soccer shoes are very narrow on the bottom. There is, even for the men, there is narrow as women's dress shoes. So again, if the doctor made you a plastic one and you tried to put that inside the shoe, it sticks out and pushes the leather on both sides way out like that, and it doesn't fit very well. With this one here, used by athletes, this will go right inside on top of the insole because it's cut narrow on the bottom and fit inside the soccer shoe. As you see here with Velcro. Just take it right out, and when you come home for playing soccer, again, if you're a guy, you could put the same one from your soccer shoe into your sandal. You can take it out and put it back in your New Balance shoe. And for the women and the young ladies that are in school playing soccer, all the young ladies are playing soccer, and they put this in their soccer shoe, they put it in their running spikes, which you can order special. It's cut, the running spike one is cut narrow like you see here, and here's a normal one, because running spikes are very, very narrow. Per size, men and ladies, they're cut extra narrow. So when we have professional runners come in, we have to cut it narrow to sit down into the shoe, but this will work in running spikes and pad the ball of your foot while you're running and realign the whole front of your foot just for that second that you're striking down on the ball of your foot. Then at least you could take it out, put it in your running shoes the rest of the day in school, and then if you come home you shouldn't be going barefoot, because if you pronate, you're going to be pronating 2-3 hours at home. So again, this can go into a bedroom slipper, a pair of clogs, a pair of sandals to wear around the house. So for all the women out there and men that own this pair of orthotics, they would come in and say, I have this pair of orthotics, but what do you have to fit in this shoe? It's in my closet. These work very good when they're sitting in the closet after paying $500 or $700 if you own these and you want to cheat. The word is cheating. I cheated too. I eat too much ice cream and I got a big belly. Women cheat and wear these silly shoes when they, even if they have the opportunity to go to the supermarket, they'll still put these on. And then they wind up with bunions and hammer toes, and they're crying 10 years later at the doctor's office why their knee hurts, and especially bad backs. About 60% of bad backs come from pronation. And this, since you can't see my feet right now pronating, it's in another film. As your ankles fall in, it turns your whole leg, and it's part of the cause of bad backs. So when you wear the spinal orthotic, chiropractors use it just to balance your whole skeleton. From your neck down, it relies on, and here's the leg coming right down to the heel. Everything is sitting on this heel bone. So all the action of going in and out all day long on silly shoes that we're forced to wear, I have the answer to it. And that's the custom-made Mr. Arch orthotic that you can get on the web. It'll come home, you'll put your foot in a box, roll forward and back, fill out the paperwork and send it to us, and we will hand make each one. And then we also have, for people who can't afford it, I came out with a copy of this whole system in a pre-made size. They come in size 6 to 7.5 to 8 and 9 plus, and in 3 men's sizes, and they also come in a sport model. The difference is they're not custom made. They have a much lower arch support. They have a standard amount of angle on them to balance your foot. And we have doctors that give these to thousands of patients that come in, and after they buy the $20 one in the store, the $40 one in the store, which are basically arch supports, they love this. They'll come back a couple of months later once they feel how great it is and have the doctor make a custom one. So these you can get online in your shoe size, and you can get the full length one for your sports shoe, or you can still use this in a running shoe. This will still fit in high heel shoes. It'll still fit in this shoe, except it's pre-made. And again, it'll also fit in a soccer shoe.